Okay. All right. Living sleazy. 8:13 in the morning for you. I appreciate you being here. It is 5:13 in the morning for me, and I set my alarm. I set my alarm for like 4:45, and then I woke up and I was like, "What time is it?" It's like 4. And so I said, "Fuck it. I'll get up early. I'll have my coffee. I'll let the dog out. I let the dog out. Baha, man. Now you know. But I'll let the dog out. I'll have my coffee. I'll get the stream set up so it's both on YouTube and on Twitch, because I make a little extra money on YouTube. The woke mob won't tell you. The woke mob won't tell you, but when you get YouTube Partner, it's all about watch time, I think. And so when I got the YouTube Partner for my spaceship show, I parlayed it into just changing it whenever I want to do a new channel. And so Nintendo Alert technically is a monetized YouTube channel. No kick yet. I might though. If they offer me one of those $50,000 deals to stream once a year and talk about Nintendo, I could be persuaded. Kick's big with gambling though, which I was initially very skeptical about. I did a stream some number of months ago about how gambling streaming was like this weird thing that I didn't understand. But after watching it, I'll have my lunch and I'll watch Vegas Matt. If you've ever seen him, he just gambles like $100 bets on slot machines. Like he can lose $50,000, and I'm sure he's being compensated in some way by the casino. But it's really something. It's really something to watch. And so, because when he wins big. But when he loses, it's a life-changing disaster for most people. Like he loses like $11,000 hands of blackjack, and I'm just like, man, I wish someday a Dean Ross. Yeah, dude, a Dean Ross is the man. Love a Dean Ross. I don't know. I don't know who's involved with F1 these days. I'm so tuned out of F1. I went to that free concert they gave us here in Vegas to make us forget that they shut down the roads for a month at a time. And then I kind of moved on. I don't go on the strip enough to be really inconvenienced by it, but I'm empathetic to the cause of the working class, and so I'm like, fuck F1. Okay, well, in any case, got the big event today. In just 45 minutes, we'll be living in a world with Nintendo Switch 2. Technically, we are right now, but 45 minutes, it will be a little bit more real. And so that's exciting. Also, let me know how this microphone is. This is a different microphone. I've received consistent feedback that my Yeti Nano kind of cuts in and out, and I think it's because when I look away, the volume attenuates, whereas this mic is like one of those little baby mics, and so I'm just kind of holding it. T239. What is? You're gonna have to explain that to me. It is 5:20 a.m. Unless that's like a sleeper cell activation code, in which case I'll figure it out eventually. Give me 1 second here. I have to log into ChatGPT real quick, because I have a lot of stuff saved on there. That I want to talk about. And you might be saying, what do you have saved on ChatGPT? That's a great question. Please hold for an explanation. Please hold while I explain myself. Google with your two-step verification. Oh, that's the Switch 2 processor. Yeah, isn't that the, it's from like a car infotainment center or something? I care a lot less about the hardware. I care a lot less about the hardware as I do just access to the additional gaming content. Okay, can I hide this sidebar? I can. Great. Great. Okay, any people who are tuning in initially and they're like, oh wow, a new stream to check out. They have tuned out. They're done. But that's okay. Okay. Great. All right, so thing to talk about to kill time here is this Karl Jobst situation. Jobst. There we go. Excellent. It's the right screen and everything. So I've been following this now for a minute. Oh, I hate when the Wii Shop music does that, when it loops. I've been following this situation for a minute. I think in part because I'm a pro gamer, and this is pro gamer news. But I think also in part because when the Gerard stuff happened, I truly believed that that Karl had sort of overstepped in a lot of ways, or not necessarily overstepped, but just he drew a lot of conclusions that didn't seem fair based on the information he was presenting, right? And so that in and of itself, not necessarily the end of the world. But when I had my suborbital Twitter account, I tweeted, because of course you watch somebody like Gerard, right, have his entire career ruined, and sort of be accused of committing fraud, right? And there wasn't any good evidence that the money wasn't there, right? And then obviously, let's back up. Karl said that Gerard's charity, the Open Hand Foundation, illegally withheld donations that it should have been using for other things, right? And to be fair, Gerard did on a number of occasions say that they were donating the funds to various organizations and charities when they hadn't actually donated the money. Now, it doesn't mean that the money wasn't there. It just means that it sat there, right? And so the money kind of sat there. And Karl Jobst and Mutahar from Some Ordinary Gamers made this whole video series about how, about how Gerard and his family never gave this money, and they lied, and they don't know what happened to the money, and it doesn't add up. And they accused him of charity fraud, right? And in a lot of ways implied that Gerard and his family embezzled the money, right? And so the way that they did this was they looked at the forms filed with the IRS that showed sort of the receipts of the organization and sort of the lack of disbursements, right? Which is fine, right? Like, it's a reasonable thing to point out that, like, you've taken all this money, you haven't given this money out, you said you've been giving this money out, where is that, right? I think where it became problematic was the next step that he took, which was to effectively say Gerard and his family had been committing fraud, right? Had stolen the money, had taken the money for themselves, or severely implying that. And so I didn't love that. You know, obviously I circle in G4 community, like, loved X-Play. Wasn't super into Gerard content outside of that, but like can acknowledge that he's just like, he seemed like an okay dude. And so I tweeted and I said, you know, I forget the specifics of it, but if you want to see it, you can watch the Carl video. But I said, fuck Carl, fuck Mutahar. Like, I think that this is a bridge too far. Like, I think that it's one thing to say this, it's another thing to say this. And then I think I had replied after after Gerard came out with a video sort of denying it, and I said Gerard came with receipts. And so both Carl and Mutahar screen capped my tweet and put it in their video, which, like, they have huge audiences. And so for like 3 fucking months, I was getting like angry Carl Jobstian and Some Ordinary Gamerians in my replies every day on Twitter, talking shit about this. Oh, you fucking Gerard dick rider, like this, that, the other thing. It's like, dude, I literally don't watch Completionist content. I find myself fundamentally uninterested in a lot of the stuff that he publishes, because it's like, I don't need to see a grown-ass man beat a, you know, Nintendo Entertainment System game or whatever it is he does. Like, I just don't need to see that. I appreciate him as a person, I just don't watch his content. And so it's like, I am just a guy who doesn't like to see that sort of thing happen. I don't know. He might have just been divinely created, Live and Sleazy. But yeah, slander and libel, at least parts of it. And that's sort of where we end here with Carl, is obviously sort of the big bad guy of Carl's whole career. And we can sort of prove the point here, but the big bad guy of Carl's whole career has been Billy Mitchell, right? Billy Mitchell, as you may or may not know, arcade gamer from the 80s, allegedly the first person to complete the game of Pac-Man, right? To get to the kill screen. Screen 256, it's a huge achievement. He's done it in the past. Whether or not he's the first, hard to know. But so, Billy Mitchell, accused of cheating in Donkey Kong, right? He's at one point held a Donkey Kong world record. A lot of different drama around that. But what he's accused of is having submitted videotapes to Twin Galaxies, who was at one point sort of the video games world record authority, right? He's accused of submitting videotapes that when you play them back, the game loads in a way that's consistent with MAME, rather than an actual arcade cabinet, right? And so rather than using a physical arcade cabinet and the PCB that comes in that, the level loads in a way that reflects MAME, and therefore can't be valid as a world record because it has to be played on original hardware. And if you play it on MAME, it opens up the possibility for like a tool-assisted speedrun, essentially, where it's programmed in, or like save states where you can go and sort of edit things together. And so it's problematic that it would be MAME. But so accused Billy Mitchell of cheating, and many people have, and whether or not he cheated, neither here nor there, because the actual case that we're going to talk about is not about that. And I think a lot of people are unaware of that. But before we dive into the specifics of that, I do want to show you something interesting about Carl Jobs. Is that when we talk about his channel and Billy Mitchell, do you kind of see where I'm do you kind of see where I'm going with this? Is like, a lot of these videos I think are just getting caught up in YouTube's search, but like if you reasonably start from, like, let's say this one, the longest con in video game history, because I know Billy Mitchell comes up in this video, and just go up, right? Like, the number of videos that turn up on this channel that have a picture of Billy Mitchell as the main thumbnail is pretty crazy. And that's not to say you can't make content about controversial figures, right? Think about the number of videos people make about celebrities or whatever. Not unreasonable, but Billy Mitchell is not really like a celebrity. He's like a guy from Florida who played Pac-Man. And he's problematic for a lot of reasons, right? But there's sort of a fixation that's hard to justify. And so Billy Mitchell sued Karl Jobst at first for a number of things, including talking about these world records. But the real reason that he was suing Karl Jobst was a video that Karl created in which he accused Billy Mitchell of, and we can see if the response is up on Billy Mitchell's channel yet. Or still. Why can't I just find this man's channel? Oh, Radmeyer's here. Damn, we got some people filtering in. Chicken Wing Robber Baron. That's right. You never saw a Donkey Kong cabinet at Ricky's before that tournament decades ago. Radmeyer says, what the fuck is this shit? Still trying to figure it out. Livin' Sleazy says, why is Billy problematic? And I think that that's sort of a good question. I mean, it's not sort of a good question. It's a good question. Because there's a lot that's sort of assumed by
The plaintiff will...
by people that seems to be based off of the Karl videos primarily. I think that he's problematic because it's not just a matter of... It's not just a matter of, what's it called? Of him having cheated at Donkey Kong. It's that he has, in a number of cases, sued people as sort of like a slap suit situation. I can't find Billy Mitchell's YouTube channel. This is crazy. And I know that it exists. What if we go to Karl Jobst? Or this guy?
I was an extra.
Charlie, lots of egg on his face after all of this. Nope. Maybe it's Billy Pac-Man. That's usually what he goes by. Let's see. No. Okay. I don't think we're gonna find it. That's all right. So anyway, he's problematic because I think the idea is that he was at one point suing creators in an effort to keep, sort of keep the cheating allegations at bay, right? And to some extent, one could argue that the Karl Jobst lawsuit that we're kind of seeing now is also that, right? And that Karl got sloppy. And because Karl got sloppy, it provided Billy sort of like an angle to kill, right? And I'll explain how that works. So the initial lawsuit that Billy filed included stuff about video games, right? It included stuff about the cheating allegations. Before the lawsuit went to trial, his lawyers said, you know what? Forget those allegations. We're not going to talk about those. What we're focused on is what Karl Jobst said about Billy Mitchell and how he relates to Apollo Legend, who's another YouTuber. Apollo Legend taking his own life, to say it in YouTube-friendly terms. And so Karl had put out a video in which he said that Billy Mitchell sued Apollo Legend, won a settlement against Apollo Legend, and that the terms of that settlement involved Billy Mitchell making a cash payment, or it involved Apollo Legend making a cash payment to Billy Mitchell that was so onerous, that was so difficult for Apollo Legend, that he had to take on more work, and it caused him stress, and it eventually contributed to Apollo Legend taking his own life, right? Now that's a crazy claim to make, right? Like that's a big thing to say. It's one thing to say you cheated at Donkey Kong, right? It's another thing to say you caused this guy to, you know, take his own life, right? Like that's, I would, if I became a Donkey Kong cheat overnight, that would be one thing. If I became somebody who bothered someone to that, then, you know, that's a different story, right? People look at you a different way. And that's essentially the only thing that this Carl Jobst Billy Mitchell lawsuit was about, was that claim. And so all of the videos and all the content that Carl made, where he's talking about, oh, well, you know, I'm being sued because I said that Billy Mitchell was a cheater. You know, my lawsuit, you know, to prove Billy Mitchell is a cheater. Like all of the stuff that he said, sort of indicating that the lawsuit was one thing, while at one point it was true, very quickly became not true. And so all the money he had crowdfunded around his defense here, right? All of the money that he had crowdfunded around help me finally prove in court all of these allegations, right? The focus on that sort of distracted from the fact that the lawsuit had become not about the cheating at all, not about Billy Mitchell's Donkey Kong records at all, but about Carl's sort of careless statements in his videos. And so a lot of people now are reacting to Carl losing this lawsuit and saying, it's interesting how, after all the stuff you said about Gerard, after all the stuff about the Open Hand Foundation, you find yourself in a situation where you asked for donations, and now the people who donated to you are feeling misled. And so, just an interesting sort of series of events, but not only was this a thing where Billy Mitchell won the lawsuit, because you'll hear a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, he just got by, right? Like, or he got lucky. Not at all, as a matter of fact. And let's mute the Wii Shop music real quick, because I think that hearing the judge sort of bring this down is pretty crazy. Like this was not like a fringe case. This was not on the fence. This was like a pretty serious, like, you fucked up. And so we're going to take it from right here, because I've just sort of explained all of this stuff. But to sort of summarize what the judge says in these points, right? It's who is Billy Mitchell? He gives background on who Billy Mitchell is. He talks about Twin Galaxies and the cheating allegations, and makes sure to be clear that the court is not responsible or interested in litigating whether or not Billy Mitchell cheated. That's not what this is about, is what he says here. And then Billy sues Twin Galaxies and Apollo Legend. He talks about the lawsuit. And then he talks about the settlement. And then he talks about Apollo's goodbye video, which was sort of his last video, where he talks a little bit about the reasons that he did do what he did. And Billy Mitchell's not one of them, right? But now he's going to talk about Carl and what Carl did. And so we'll listen to this, and sort of, if I can jump in, I will.
Defendant Carl Jobst lives in Queensland. He regularly publishes videos on YouTube, mostly about speedrunning, but also about video and arcade gaming world records and people who cheat in those games. He has over 1 million followers on his YouTube channel. On 26 May 2021, he published a video about Mr. Mitchell and another video gamer, Todd Rogers, entitled "The Biggest Conmen in Video Game History Strike Again." He accused Mr. Mitchell and Mr. Rogers of cheating and of pursuing unmeritorious litigation against people who had accused them of cheating. He also said the following about Mr. Mitchell, quote, "He also sued YouTuber Apollo Legend for $1 million. I haven't spoken about this publicly, but this lawsuit ultimately ended with Apollo giving in and settling with Mitchell. He was forced to remove all his videos about Mitchell's cheating and paid him a large sum of money. This left him deeply in debt, which required him to find extra work, but with his ongoing health issues, this was all too much of a burden, and he ultimately took his own life. Not that
Okay, so pause, right? Like real quick pause. Holy shit, right? Like that's a crazy thing to say. Like that's a bananas thing to say unless you are sure, right? Like I don't I don't know. I don't know at what point people really expected that this was going to go a different way. I mean, I think ultimately people did not know that this was what the lawsuit was about. But like you cannot just say shit like this because there's, you know, defamation is interesting. And having worked in sort of public competitive PR spaces, as many of you know, you know, you have to think about this a lot. But it's, do you know that the statement you're making is false, or have you exhibited some degree of negligence in verifying that information? Right? It's one thing to, you can defame somebody by making shit up and saying it, but you can also defame somebody by saying something that you know is pretty serious, right? And not having done enough due diligence for a reasonable person, um, in order to be sure that that claim is true, right? If I say, you know, Psycor, because I know that he can take it, right? If if I say that Psycor, you know, it keeps puppies locked up in his basement, um, and it's not true, right? That's bad, right? I should not do that. But if I maybe think it's true, like I've been on some video calls with Psycor and I always see like a bunch of puppies in cages in the background, right? Like, but I don't verify that. And it turns out Psycor works at like a puppy farm or whatever, or like a valid place for there to be cages of puppies. Maybe it's an animal rescue. I don't know, right? But if I don't ask him, if I don't reach out to him, if I don't do the research, yeah, maybe he works at a puppy mill. That's actually even almost even worse. Maybe he works at an animal rescue. Let's say that. And I don't do the due diligence. I don't do my homework. I don't reach out to people who know him. Like I don't journalist about it. Then that is also defamation. Yeah, I mean, if Psycor has a valid reason to run a puppy prison, you're right, Dilemma. We should know. I should be able to ask. But that's the thing, is so you can defame someone in a number of ways. And in Australia, defamation laws are a lot more strict than in the US. You can get away with a lot of shit in America. You can't get away with that in Australia because they're like, yo, like you got to figure your shit out. So let's listen to more of this.
Billy Mitchell would ever care, though. In fact, when Billy Mitchell thought Apollo died earlier, he expressed joy at the thought. The lawsuit against
That was true. He did. Somebody told Billy Mitchell Apollo Legend died, and he was like, LOL. You know, he was pretty callous about it. Apollo hadn't died at that point, but Billy thought he did and was LOL'd. But that was in private in a text message, which, like, you know, bad look, but ultimately it wasn't meant to be a published statement. And so those texts coming out, not ideal for Billy, obviously not a good reflection of him, but also, you know, not exactly what he said. He didn't cause it, he reacted to it.
Apollo was just as frivolous as the rest, and Apollo definitely would have won in court. But again, he was extremely ill and couldn't handle the ongoing stress. End quote. That video containing that passage was online for 10 days from 26 May 2021 to 4 June 2021, and for an additional 5 days from 9 June to 13 June 2021. In between those dates, and since 13 June 2021, the video has remained online, but it contains only the first 2 sentences and the last sentence of the passage that I have just read. While the video was first online in its full version, 2 relevant events occurred. First, on 3 June 2021, Mr. Mitchell published his own YouTube video in response to Mr. Jobs' video. He denied as lies the assertion that Apollo Legend had paid him any money as part of the settlement, or that he had had any involvement with Apollo Legend that had led him to commit suicide. He asserted that Mr. Jobst had effectively accused him of murder. He ended the video by saying, quote, "I plan to respond the way that everybody anticipates for me to respond. And Carl, expect me," end quote.
All right, so that's wild. That's a wild quote. To say "expect me" unironically to another person in 2025, that's very main character coded, and that's, I think, very Billy Mitchell of him to do. Very funny, but also a little cringe. But it's important what he said, because he said that Billy published the video where he said that's not true. And I think as part of defamation, you need to say, hey, what the fuck? That's not true, right? Like, that's part of the process, is saying that that's not correct. Fix that shit. And he did, right? And he posted that video and was very emphatic about it, that that is unacceptable.
Second relevant event is that a mutual acquaintance of Mr. Mitchell and Mr. Jobst, known online as Keemstar,
Oh boy.
contacted Mr. Jobst at Mr. Mitchell's request and told him that it was not true that Apollo Legend had paid Mr. Mitchell any money. Mr. Jobst agreed to take down that part of the video while he investigated that issue further. While not taking it all down, he only left up the first and last sentences of the passage that I have read. He then emailed Apollo Legend's brother to ask him whether Apollo Legend had had to pay any money to Mr. Mitchell.
Okay, so important timeline here. So Billy puts out the video and says this is, or first Carl puts out the video and makes a horrible claim. Billy puts out a video that says that is not true. That's defamation. Take it down, right? And then Carl takes the video down and emails, or changes the video, and then emails Apollo Legend's brother and says, did Apollo have to pay a cash settlement to Billy Mitchell? Right? Who just fucking pinged me on Discord? I swear to God. Let me find out. Oh, it's the Nintendo Discord server. Emails Apollo's brother to see if that's true. So he's fact-checking after having published the claims, which is obvious negligence. And then also reaches out to Keemstar, right? And so this is another important sort of situation, or has Keemstar reach out to him? This is another important moment.
As part of the settlement, Mr. Mitchell's lawyers then served a concerns notice on Mr. Jobs, asserting that he had defamed Mr. Mitchell. In response, Mr. Jobs posted that letter on Twitter, claiming it to be very exciting and that any action would be an amazing experience.
And so now he's defamed Billy Mitchell, created evidence, created a paper trail that he didn't do the research ahead of time, so showed his negligence by having only afterwards emailed Apollo Legend's brother and had a conversation with Keemstar. He receives the cease and desist in the mail, screenshots it, and dunks on Billy on Twitter and says, oh, look at this, haha, I'm the best, fuck Billy Mitchell, who cares? All of the things you'd expect from Carl Jobst to do, he did. He was more focused on the internet cred that getting this letter from Billy Mitchell represented than he was the actual legal implications of it. And so now he's created this narrative where not only did he defame the guy, not only did he prove that he didn't do enough research ahead of time to responsibly report the facts, but now he's gotten this sort of cease and desist, and he said, fuck you, right? And so he's not creating a compelling narrative for the court that, like, oh, whoops, this was a responsible journalist who just made a mistake. Like, there's a high degree of sort of fuck around and find out happening here. But it gets even worse.
He then reinstated the original version of the video on his YouTube channel.
He then put the original video back up before hearing from Apollo Legend's brother. And so he's been told that it's false, both via a cease and desist, via Keemstar, via Billy's video, and then he reaches out to Apollo Legend's brother as a mechanism to try to sort of like make good and figure it out, allegedly, but then puts the video back up after the letter comes.
It was not until 13 June 2021 that Apollo Legend's brother informed Mr. Jobst that Apollo Legend had not paid any money to Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Jobst then altered the video again to remove all except the first two and the last sentences. That version has remained on his YouTube channel since then. The video containing all of the offending passage was downloaded in the periods that it was online
When he says
by over
downloaded, he means viewed.
500,000 people, including over 20,000 in Australia. Since then, over 8,000 comments have been made on the video, including at least 396 that, it may be said, accused Mr. Mitchell of causing Apollo Legend to commit suicide and even called him a murderer, evil, and a scumbag. Similar comments have also been made on videos by other publishers on YouTube or other online media. The most
And so what he's doing here is he's talking about the fact that essentially Carl was the first person to make these claims. And now, as a result of Carl having made these claims, people who otherwise would not have made that connection are making that connection. Essentially, just like he said these things and people believed it. And so every time somebody in the comments is like, oh, Billy killed Apollo or he's responsible, right? Like that is Carl's fault. And so those YouTube comments where people say, you know, oh, I can't believe what he did, or even now, the comments that are like, I still believe that he's responsible, right, go a very long way. Um, and it's shocking, frankly, when you really think about the implications. I don't know. It doesn't seem like doesn't seem like a 500 IQ move here from Carl.
most recent that has been brought to my attention, having been made in early 2024. In this action, Mr. Mitchell sues Mr. Jobs for defamation, claiming $400,000 in general damages and $50,000 in aggravated damages. Mr. Mitchell contends that the video, particularly the passage that I have read, made 5 defamatory imputations about him.
Okay, so we're going to get to the sort of result here. But I do want to, well, actually, we're not even going to get to the result. I'm just going to talk through it, and then we're going to get in Nintendo Switch 2 mode here. But so the sort of the result of this is that he made this sort of defamatory statements. He did all of the things that we just talked about, right? He posted the video with the statement, and then he was told a number of ways that's not true. He took the video, or he edited the video, received the cease and desist from Billy, and then put the video back up in its original form. So he reinstated, he posted the defamatory statement twice, right? And so another way that you can sort of mitigate the effects, if I accidentally defame someone, if you really make a good effort, like let's say I put out that stuff about Psychor and his puppy mill, and then I realize, oh my God, he runs an animal rescue. I'm such a dumbass, right? But then in the same sort of mode of communication, like let's say I posted a YouTube video. If in that same mode of communication, I take every pain, like I post a video like 15 times and I say, I made a mistake, right? Like I said Psychor ran a puppy mill or a puppy prison in his basement. Turns out it's an animal rescue. I am so sorry. And it's the same length, right? You really make an effort to reach the same people who you reached initially to correct that, right? If you take those steps, you can make an argument that like, hey, listen, I tried. Like I realized I messed up. I fixed it right away, and I did everything I could to sort of like set that straight once I realized I was wrong. And probably you don't even have to go that far, right? You don't even have to be that apologetic. If you just issue a statement like, hey, correction, I messed up, then I think that that's a different thing. Now, Carl didn't do that, though. What Carl did was he posted a video completely unrelated, like a 30-minute full-on Carl Jobst picture, not about Billy Mitchell, not about anything related. And the last 3 minutes, what he said was that in a previous video, he had made this connection. The connection wasn't true. And I apologize to my audience for providing incorrect information. And so he didn't apologize to Billy. He didn't really take ownership of it. And it was compared to the 30-minute video that included the claims originally. It represented like 3 minutes at the end, just after, what is it? Raid Shadow Legends or whatever his ad was at that point, right? So it was like completely insufficient to correct the harm. And not even apologetic, right? And so you have sort of like a complete lack of apology. included with this like half-assed attempt to correct it, in addition to posting the video twice, right? He posted the defamatory statement 2 times. But the second time, after being told it was false by a number of people, and then failed to correct it and sort of half-assed a correction, while at the same time continuing to create Billy Mitchell content and gloat about, oh, I'm being sued, this is going to be fun for me, oh, we're going to kick his ass. And so the court came down and not only sided with Billy Mitchell, and not only gave Billy Mitchell $300,000 in damage, which represents, I think, the maximum for non-monetary damages for defamation in Australia is $450,000. So about 60% of the maximum that you can award. In addition to aggravated damages, which means that Carl's conduct was so bad that he got extra money. He owed extra money for being so much of a dick, right? And so an additional $50,000 in aggravated damages, but the judge said he could imagine awarding more for this case, but didn't because Billy only asked for $50,000. And so he could have been on the hook for hundreds of thousands of dollars more in aggravated damages, but it gets worse because he also owes interest for like 3 years on that money. And so I think that came out to like $37,000 more. But then he also owes Billy's legal fees, which is like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so Carl already has said that his legal fees were like $500,000 to $600,000, right? His personal legal fees, $500,000 to $600,000, and was sort of banking on the idea that Billy was going to pay them, and talked about that a lot in videos. And if I were, producing like a full-on situation about this, I would have those clips ready, but I'm not. I'm a hack. And he's talking about how, oh well, Billy's going to have to cover my legal fees, and his only way out is to stop suing me, and even then he's still going to have to cover my legal fees, and so he might as well just lose now because the longer we wait, the more expensive they're getting. But then at the end of the day, he wound up losing, and so he owes his own legal fees to the tune of $600,000. I think he raised like $200,000 in his GoFundMe, so that'll subsidize a little bit of that, and I'm sure he'll do another GoFundMe. So if we'd say $400,000 to start, and then $300,000 for the non-monetary damages, $50,000 for the aggravated damages, $36,000 or something for interest, and then you have Billy's legal fees, which are probably similar in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's unbelievable, right? And it sort of reminds me of, what's it called? Moby Dick, right? Like, he just couldn't let go. He chased this white whale into his own sort of demise, right? Just like a classic tale of hubris. And I don't know. I think the real risk he's opened himself up to here, though, is showing there's blood in the water now, right? And so if I'm Gerard, if I'm Gerard's dad, if I'm Gerard's brother, if I'm all the people who were implicated in the Open Hand Foundation videos, and like this guy said that I committed fraud when I didn't commit fraud, I just like am an amateur nonprofit runner, right? Like, there's such an obvious lane there. And there's like, I think the monetary damages involved with Gerard's career are so much more serious than what happened with Billy Mitchell. I mean, Billy Mitchell obviously had some reputational damage, but I think he'll be fine in the long term. But like, Gerard's entire YouTube career is pretty much over, right? And so if he comes out and decides, I'm going to sue Carl Jobst, like, it's not just like he's going to sue for $450,000, the maximum monetary damages for or non-monetary damages for defamation. Like, he's going to be able to sue for like, I was making this much money a month, right? Like, I had a staff, and I don't have that anymore. And so like, that would be career ending really fuck up your life sort of money for Carl Jobst. I mean, this already kind of might be. But if Gerard just pulls the trigger on filing a lawsuit, it's fully over for Carl. Anyway, that's my take on that. Maybe I'll talk more about that in another stream sometime, because I do think it's a very interesting topic and one that doesn't have a lot of good information on it. But that's right. The Apollo lawsuit, 100% walkthrough, all achievements, no DLC. But Switch 2 is now 1 minute away, and so crazy times, folks. This is it. We're here. It's happening. I hope you're excited. Radmeyer, do you want to jump in VC? Actually, if anybody would, you're welcome to. I'm in here now. Oh, we got the 60-second countdown. They told you Sonic is going to be a launch game. Oh, I sure hope so. That reminds me, I should probably post on Blue Sky real quick. My uncle works for my uncle works for Nintendo too. That's crazy. Crazy. What an intro. Oh, Mario Kart 9.
Let's go! Yahoo!
Oh, Mario Kart 10. Whatever it is. Oh, wow. We got some rail grinding. So their outfits? Oh, Mario Kart World. Huh.
Hello everyone, I'm Koichi Kawamoto, and I'll be one of your guides for today's Nintendo
Donkey
Direct.
Kong looks like that because of Woke, that's right.
I'm the producer for Nintendo Switch 2.
I'm Takuhiro Dota, the director for Nintendo Switch 2. And I'm Tetsuya Sasaki, the hardware design lead for Nintendo Switch 2.
Hello.
What you just saw was Mario Kart World, launching exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2. Now, what do you think this brand new Mario Kart game will be like?
I don't know.
A brand new entry in the Mario Kart series is launching exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Welcome to this vast world. Kart races are held throughout various regions that span the globe.
Is this open world?
Depending on the time of day and weather conditions, the atmosphere will change.
What?
And in this Mario Kart game, you can go off the racetrack and drive virtually everywhere in this world.
Wow.
In the Classic Grand Prix, race through 4 courses in a bid for first place. But don't sleep at the wheel. You'll also drive to the next course as part of the competition. With 24 drivers in each race, the most in series history, the competition is gearing up.
Wow, 24. That's crazy.
Introducing Knockout Tour. Race non-stop from one corner of the world to another.
Oh, it's like Battle Royale Mario Kart.
There
That's
are
crazy.
multiple checkpoints along the way. If you're below the placement shown when you hit a checkpoint, you'll be eliminated. Can you make it all the way to the finish line? You can also freely drive around this vast world in free roam. By going off-road, you can explore new areas and routes. So drive wherever your heart takes you.
Drive wherever your heart takes you, gang.
You can also go for scenic drives with friends.
Oh, that's so
And
fun.
even take photos together at different locations. A brand new race across the entire world starts here. Mario Kart World!
That's really cool. We
The
gotta
game
watch
launches
that
on
again
the same day as Nintendo Switch 2.
after this is over. But there's a lot.
More
in there.
details about this title will be shared in an upcoming Mario Kart World Direct. So be on the lookout for more information in the future.
April 17th. Good to know.
Mario Kart World launches on the same day as Nintendo Switch 2. We'll share more details in the future, so we hope you're looking forward to it.
That's really cool. They've done something new with Mario Kart.
Next, we'd like to introduce some of the new features of Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, here we go.
These are the Joy-Con 2 controllers for Switch 2.
Creatively named.
And on the right Joy-Con 2, we've added a new C button.
Oh, here we go.
Let's take a look at some new experiences it offers.
I'm still ahead of all of you guys. Woo! That was me. That was you.
Do they have voice chat on Nintendo now?
Wait, no.
Nix, I'm coming for you.
No, I'm about to get
Come on, no.
Oh.
Introducing Game Chat, a
Unreal.
new feature for Nintendo Switch 2.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hi, missed you.
With this feature, you'll be able to communicate with friends and family while playing a game.
Should we follow you? Yeah.
Yeah, follow me.
Nintendo has invented voice chat.
While using the Game Chat feature, your voice is recognized by a microphone built into the system.
Oh, okay. But you're still behind me, right? All right, let's keep going. Okay. So,
It can pick up your speaking voice clearly, even from a distance.
look at this. Jump on here. All right, let's keep going. Let's make a left right here. Let's make a.
When it's noisy around you, your voice will still come through clearly, letting you chat with ease.
How did you get hit by a boat? Okay, nice.
It does look beautiful. It's opaque.
And you can use this feature in handheld mode too, letting you easily chat with friends and family. If you open the chat menu and turn on game screen sharing,
Good job, good job.
Uh-oh, is there a camera on the Switch 2?
you can also share your game screen.
Did you see someone just like go on top of that dinosaur?
Really? They can do that?
Can do it? You guys, I just did it.
Oh, I want to do it too.
Oh, shoot. Oh, ooh. Oh, he's trying to eat me. He's trying to eat me.
Okay, I got it. I got it.
That is not how Mario Kart voice chat sounds.
Okay. You can chat to your heart's content, even while playing different games.
Yeah, I know that one. It's so hard, right? It's tough.
Oh, wow. I'm like in the sky right here. I'm like, I fell. I'm falling. Okay, we got it. We're safe.
Kirby, look, you're on a star. That's so cute. So cute.
You can adjust the size of your game screen.
Guys, I'm lost. Like,
Where'd you go?
Or expand another friend's game screen.
You gotta get above that wall that's to your left.
You're almost there,
It's just like the wall. Like if she gets past the wall.
this is where I have to do a
Is
little
this girl
wall
lost
ride.
in Mario Kart?
Okay.
So everyone can watch them play.
Oh, I think I know where you are.
They're like giving her directions.
Okay, I think we have to try.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Let's take a picture here.
Yeah, Radmire, this is your type of gal.
Oh,
You gotta get her
I like
number,
your
dude.
pose, Meeks.
On the right Joy-Con 2 controller, there's an additional button. With the C button, you can pull up a chat menu.
Oh, dang. Oh, really? Wait, actually, guys, I got a call coming right now, so I'll be right back, yeah? Okay, sure.
Here, you can quickly and easily mute yourself and more.
You can mute
And there's
yourself.
this.
Oh, there we go. There it is.
By connecting this camera to the system.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Hey, what's up? Hello. Yo. Nick. Hi, how's everyone doing?
It cuts you out.
Good?
You can appear on screen and video chat while playing a game.
It does look like Game Boy camera.
Nick, how was your test yesterday?
It was good.
No.
Here's how it
Grown-ass
works with
man
just the
asking how the
camera.
test was yesterday.
I'm way behind, guys.
There you go. I bet you like
Can
that.
you wait for me?
Please look forward to games which use your camera feed like this.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
No,
Yeah, that
wait.
looks
Go
good.
left,
And
go
then-
left. Left,
I
left.
like that.
Okay.
That's
Go
very
this way.
fun.
Oh.
Using Game Chat. Even when you're apart, you can play games and hang out as if you were together in the same room. Play together or compete in online multiplayer games.
I think that's for when you're playing with your friends, Dilemma, not when you're
Chat while
playing
playing
with,
your personal favorites.
not when you're playing with strangers. Though I'm sure you could do
Decide
it.
your own rules for a retro game competition. Or hold a sports competition between families. All together, anytime, anywhere.
Okay, so Nintendo
Game
has
chat.
invented Discord.
What
So
did you
that's
think?
the C button.
In
That's
developing
cool,
Game
though.
Chat,
It's better
our
than
goal
what we
was
have
for
on the
you to
Switch.
enjoy playing online with others more closely, including family and friends. Almost as if you're all playing together in the same place. The camera you saw in the trailer is the Nintendo Switch 2 camera, which will be available on the same day as Switch 2.
Thank God.
A Nintendo Switch Online membership will be required to use Game Chat.
There they go. There you go.
However, since we'd like as many people as possible to experience Game Chat, it will be available without a membership for a limited time.
Oh,
We hope you'll try it out.
2026. I was like, March 31st? Is this thing coming out
Additionally,
today?
Game Chat supports the Nintendo Switch Parental Controls app, and different settings can be adjusted. For example, whether parental permission is always required when a child wants to use Game Chat to play with their friends.
We'd like to introduce another new experience you can share with family and friends. On Nintendo Switch, even if you just have one game, you can pass a Joy-Con controller to a friend and play together. But on Nintendo Switch 2, you can play together locally on multiple systems using just one game, with GameShare. As shown here, even games that require multiple screens can be played if one person owns a compatible game. With
Interesting that they're
GameShare, you
showing
can
all of
temporarily
the
share
Switch
compatible games
models.
with others who also
Switch
have
1
Nintendo
as
Switch
well.
2 or a Nintendo Switch system. You can share a game with up to 3 other systems at a time. GameShare also supports online play with other Switch 2 systems, and you can use it with friends via Game Chat, which we showed earlier. GameShare can only be used with compatible games. This feature is planned for several titles, starting with a free update for Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics on Nintendo Switch. GameShare support is also planned for select games exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2, so we hope you'll look forward to it.
Up next, we'd like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2 system itself.
Please take a look.
Same thickness.
At 7.9 inches, Switch 2 has a bigger built-in screen. Here's how that compares to Nintendo Switch. The system's thickness remains the same. With approximately double the pixels compared to Switch, you can enjoy games in greater detail on the 1080p screen.
Double the pixels. 120 frames.
The screen supports up to 120 frames per second, allowing for smoother gameplay in supported titles.
Nerds rejoice.
The LCD screen is more vivid and supports HDR, providing more contrast between light and dark areas of the images. The all-new Joy-Con 2 controllers connect magnetically. Strong magnets keep the controllers firmly attached to the system. Detach a controller easily by pressing the release button on the back.
Oh, we might be learning about the mouse here.
The SL and SR buttons are bigger for greater comfort and control when playing with a Joy-Con 2 held horizontally. The left and right sticks are now larger.
Oh, wow, here it is.
Each Joy-Con 2 controller can be used as a mouse to play with compatible games. Both the left and right Joy-Con 2 support mouse controls.
They can't just gloss
By
over
adjusting the audio balance between the ranges, sounds from the built-in speakers are clearer and more natural in handheld and tabletop modes. It has a built-in microphone, so you can voice chat with friends anytime via Game Chat. It also uses noise-canceling technology to filter sounds, so your voice will come through clearly. Even if you don't have a surround sound system, games can be enjoyed with more immersive, three-dimensional sound, as if it were coming from all around you. Place your Nintendo Switch 2 however you like with a large, sturdy stand. You can move it freely, like this. In addition to the USB-C port found on the bottom of the system, there's one on top as well. It's handy for connecting a USB-C camera or charging in tabletop mode. Nintendo Switch 2 comes with 256 gigabytes of internal storage, 8 times that of Nintendo Switch, for storing your game downloads, save data, and more.
We're seeing a lot
Reading
of
and writing data is also faster. Use the Nintendo Switch 2 dock to connect to your TV and enable up to 4K resolution for compatible games.
Damn, 4K
HDR
gaming.
is also supported in TV mode.
60 frames, 4K. Dude, what? Crazy.
The Nintendo Switch 2 dock has a built-in fan that keeps your system cool. This helps keep performance stable.
Folks, we're living in a Nintendo with a fan world.
On Nintendo Switch 2, you can play Nintendo Switch 2 games, as well as compatible Nintendo Switch games. Physical and digital games are supported.
Physical games, baby. We live to fight another day. Dude, the 4K thing is crazy. like I don't think I can even handle 4K, like literally.
As you just saw, Nintendo Switch 2 isn't simply an improved Nintendo Switch. We redesigned the system from the ground up and packed in lots of new gameplay features. And to help players better understand the Switch 2 hardware, we're currently developing this game. Mr. Kawamoto!
Hello. My current location is actually inside the game itself.
Oh, it's like
This is
Astrobot.
Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2.
They've made their own Astrobot. That's fun.
I'm standing over here. Okay, everyone, join me inside the game. There are a lot of question mark icons here. Let's examine them. This sign reads,
Magnets, how
where
do they
are the
work?
magnets? The Joy-Con 2 controllers attach to the system with magnets. And those magnets are inside the system. The SL and SR buttons on the Joy-Con 2 are made of metal.
Oh, wow.
So that's how they attach to the system.
Oh.
A magnetic circuit is formed between them, so they won't easily detach.
Made of steel.
Through examining signs like these, you can discover all sorts of secrets about Nintendo Switch 2. Another example, the Joy-Con 2 controllers have mouse controls. And when combined with the gyroscopes, you can even do something like this. You can adjust the position of the golf club and aim for the cup by rotating the Joy-Con 2. By
They've
combining the
invented
mouse
mini
controls
putt.
and gyroscopes,
Remember
things
that?
like this are possible. There are secrets to discover even as you're playing minigames and tech demos. Some of the secrets range from the unique features of the system to tiny details you might not notice until they're pointed out. There are plenty. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour will launch as a paid digital game on the same day as
Paid?
Nintendo Switch 2. So please check it out if you're interested.
Oh, Nintendo, that's crazy. That's
Now, I'd like to
crazy
share
work.
some more information regarding Nintendo Switch 2. This is the game card for Nintendo Switch 2 titles.
Nice. Ooh,
It's the
red.
same shape
That's
as
fun.
Nintendo Switch game cards, but it's now red and it has much faster data reading speeds. Next up is additional storage. Switch 2 will only work with micro SD express cards. They're a different type of SD card and will make high-speed data transfers possible. Please note that regular micro SD cards used for Nintendo Switch will not be compatible.
Okay, so we need new cards.
Additionally,
New cards, boys.
to transfer data from Switch to Switch 2, you can log into your Nintendo account to use the System Transfer feature. With this feature, you can transfer save data, digital games, and more.
That's cool.
We're
Ooh,
also
Pro
releasing
controller.
a new Pro Controller. It has a C button, which launches Game Chat, and on the back, there are new GL and GR buttons, which you can use to assign existing button controls. In addition, an audio jack has been added. We've introduced a few new features, and after today's presentation, the official Nintendo Switch 2 website will go live. There will also be an Ask the Developer article on the website, where the three of us will talk about the development of Nintendo Switch 2. We hope you'll check that out as well.
And now, the Nintendo Switch 2 launch date. Nintendo Switch 2 launches on June 5th.
June 5th! That's so soon.
We're very much looking forward to the day when you all get to experience it, so please wait just a bit longer.
That's fine.
Now, broadly speaking, on Nintendo Switch 2, you can play 3 types of games. The first type is Nintendo Switch 2 games. These games take advantage of the performance and features of Switch 2. The second type is compatible games that were released on Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games are the third type. Some games that were released on Switch will receive upgraded versions that offer things like improved visuals, unique ways to play on Switch 2, and more. Now, I'd like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Oh, wow, okay.
Please take a look.
So we're getting like upgraded. Oh, this
Super
includes the
Mario
new
Party
features.
Jamboree is getting an upgrade on Nintendo Switch 2. The upgrade expands on the base game and adds new features, including mouse controls, audio recognition, more expressive rumble, and gameplay that uses a camera accessory, all of which can be accessed on Switch 2.
Oh my god. Oh my
Let's check
God.
out 3 new and updated modes.
I don't want to play the dancing minigame.
First up is Mario Party mode. With a single camera, up to 4 players can join the festivities. You'll be able to see each other's faces as you play, so you can experience all the reactions and emotions in real time. Or 4 friends can take the party online.
This is great for streaming, though.
Up next, it's Bowser Live, a mode where the livelier team wins.
Oh,
Bowser
wow.
will bring you on stage 2, hit blocks to collect the most coins, guide an RC car with your voice, go, and compete in other mini-games using full body movement and sound.
This would be great.
Finally, take a ride on the mouse-controlled Carnival Coaster. With the safety bar lowered and secured, you're off. Go! Use mouse controls to shoot down enemies while you feel the bumps and rumbles of the coaster.
Yo, this is crazy.
When you enter a pipe, a mini-game will begin. There's a bouldering game where 2 players each control an arm, and one where you shake a can of spray paint
The
and quickly
on-rails
tag
shooter
objects.
was not expected.
Enjoy the thrill of these intuitive mini-games. How quickly can you reach the station? From mini-games that use a camera, the built-in microphone, mouse controls, and rumble, the
They've
biggest
made,
party
what
yet
is this?
is getting
They
even
made Candy
bigger.
Crush.
Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, plus Jamboree TV, launches on Nintendo Switch 2, July 24th.
July 24th. Okay, so we've
Nintendo
got...
Switch 2 players who already own Super Mario Party Jamboree can upgrade to Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV by purchasing an upgrade pack.
For how much money?
Please look forward to a
How
new
many
Mario
doll
Party
hairs?
experience, where you can see each other's reactions while playing. Let's continue presenting some more Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games.
Oh shit, Breath of the Wild? And Tears of the
Nintendo Switch
Kingdom?
2 editions of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom feature enhanced resolution and frame rates, and also support HDR, which makes the image more vibrant, so you can play with smoother, higher definition graphics. Plus, you can get even more out of your adventures in Hyrule using Zelda Notes. This new feature can be accessed via the Nintendo Switch app on smart devices. It's a game-specific service that's exclusive to the Switch 2 editions of these titles. For example, it can help guide you to various locations, like shrines and Koroks you haven't
Fucking
found yet.
Zelda
Guidance
GPS on my
activating.
phone?
Proceed north.
Or
Dude,
you can share your
Nintendo's
creations using
wild,
QR
man.
codes and send them to another
Always
player
some
to
shit
create
with them.
in their game.
Though this is cool. This is cool. The schematic sharing?
We hope these features will make your adventures even more enjoyable.
Oh!
In Kirby and the Forgotten Land, you'll be able to enjoy an additional story exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, along with improved graphics and frame rates.
Dude, this game is so good. Oh no,
This story
Kirby
takes place in the
911.
Forgotten Land after being struck by a powerful meteor that's causing some mysterious changes.
Never forget.
We hope you're looking forward to Kirby's new adventure.
This is so good because I 100%ed this game.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond will have both a Nintendo Switch and a Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
Oh already selling us DLC for this game. Oh, look how much better this looks.
In addition to standard controls, you can use
This
mouse
looks
controls for
gorgeous
intuitive gameplay on
compared
Switch 2.
to the Switch 1.
Plus, you can explore the immersive world in 4K at 60 frames per second,
60
or enjoy
frame.
smoother action in Full HD at 120 frames per second. Choose from these two modes, both of which support HDR,
120 frames
based on your preference and playstyle.
for 1080p?
Plus, Pokémon Legends ZA, which is scheduled to launch later this year, will not
that's
only
okay.
receive a Nintendo
I'll
Switch
pass.
version, but a Nintendo Switch 2 edition as well. By taking advantage of the power of Switch 2, you can enjoy your adventure in Lumio City with enhanced resolution and frame rates.
Right. Doesn't look like a mobile game anymore.
The Nintendo Switch 2 edition games you
I'm
just
excited
saw
for
will
all
be
of
available
these.
as
Maybe
both
not so
physical
much the Zelda
and
one, just
digital
because
versions.
I didn't get as much out of that. But new Kirby,
And if you already own the Nintendo Switch version of a game, you can play the Nintendo Switch 2 edition by purchasing an upgrade pack.
dude, I'll pay for all of those.
We hope
I
you're
don't
looking
care.
forward to these Nintendo Switch 2 edition games.
I don't even care, bro.
Next, I'd like to introduce a brand new game featuring mouse controls with the Joy-Con 2 controllers.
Mario Paint. Here we go.
Please
Mario
take a look.
Paint. DJ Hero? Mark! Hey! It's me. Oh wow, this is interesting. It's basketball. This is basketball. Oh, you know what this is? This is Rocket League. This is Nintendo Rocket League. Also, if we're concerned about representation in media, I feel like that's a huge game.
In Drag and
for
Drive, you'll use
wheelchair
both
community,
Joy-Con 2
right?
controllers as
That's
mice
gotta
to
be the first
intuitively
game
pull off various moves.
That's like all.
We hope you're
wheelchair
looking forward
characters.
to a new twist on 3-on-3 matches
And I say
using
that
dual
not as
mouse
like a bit.
controls.
That's like.
Next, here are some games from our publishing and development partners coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, here we go. Some third party.
I have long observed the lands between. This world
Is this
in
Elden Ring?
dire need
What is
of
this?
repair.
Elden Ring. Elden Ring Switch 2. Enjoy, sickos.
Can't you? The rays of grace that guide you through your burden.
Yeah, there's going to be an interesting third-party rush here to figure out this
I
technology.
have no doubt you will become Elden Lord. May you take the throne.
Tarnished Edition. That means something to somebody. Bandai Namco cashing in on Elden Ring.
Hey, I'm Greg Kasavin from Supergiant Games, here to say that Hades 2 is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
I don't know what
Our
that
first
is.
ever sequel introduces the Princess of the Dead, an immortal witch out to vanquish the sinister Titan of Time. You'll battle beyond the underworld to the ends of the earth, getting to know
I didn't know there was
dozens
a
of
Hades
characters
1.
from Greek myth in a story that reacts to your every setback and victory. It's the kind of game you can quickly pick up and play whether you're experienced with the original or not. Look for more about Hades 2 later this year.
皆さんこんにちは。カプコンの中山です。
Mega Man.
我々がお届けするタイトルはストリートファイター6です。本体を持ち寄っての対戦はもちろん、任天堂スイッチ2だけの新モードもあります。 ソフトは通常版の他に総勢26キャラクターを収録した Years 1-2 Fighters Edition の2バージョンを、さらにゲームと連動するアミーボとアミーボカードも一緒にスイッチ2の発売日にお届けします。お楽しみに。
Initiating Arsenal boot sequence. Weapon safety mechanism confirmed. All operating at normal levels. Testing data link with spine. Normal. Commencing launch.
After 2 long wars where our freedom was restricted, we will finally be liberated from humans.
I'm in need of a new arsenal, new equipment, and money. I'm for sale, and you're buying.
Rebels! Thanks for the warm welcome!
This planet will be ours.
The Sovereign Axiom, the Trinitas, has almost completed a weapon that was created to destroy all humanity.
No! Because we're in the middle of a war. Don't you get it?
I won't just stop you.
I'll tear you apart!
All children
Damon.
bring hope to our lives.
Ex Machina.
Don't they?
It doesn't look great, though.
Hey, this is Joseph Forrest from Hazelight. I'm
Joseph,
super
what the fuck
excited
is
for Split
this?
Fiction to come to Nintendo
Oh, it's
Switch
Split
2.
Fiction. People
The
love
game
this
is a story about friendship. You play as Mio, who writes sci-fi, and Zoe, who writes fantasy. Together, they get trapped in their
Split
own
Fiction's
stories,
very
and it's up
popular
to
right
you
now,
and a friend to help them break free. Now, let me tell you this: if you like It Takes Two, you're gonna love this one. Trust me. And of course, you'll be able to play Split Fiction on the day Switch 2 launches.
At EA Sports, we're bringing fans together across the world, both on the pitch and on the gridiron. We're excited to announce that EA Sports FC will be coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Madden NFL will also be arriving on the Nintendo platform. EA Sports, it's in the game.
Hi, I'm Alan Tu from Avalanche Software. We are bringing Hogwarts Legacy to Nintendo Switch 2. With enhanced graphics and seamless world transitions, you'll be immersed in the Wizarding World like never before. And the new mouse controls on Switch 2 give you even more ways to experience the adventure. Discover the enhanced magic when Hogwarts Legacy launches on the same day as Switch 2.
Captain, is that mic supposed to be on?
Tony Hawk? I need to know more about the first party games, though. We can't just be getting Mario Kart. And we got Metroid Prime already. So what could it be? If it's Star Fox or something, that'll be really cool. But I also, I want to be Mario, you know? I want everything. Oh wow, did they just hit us with SpongeBob DLC for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?
Hello, this is Christian Elverdam from IO Interactive. We are bringing our flagship title, Hitman World of
Hitman.
Assassination, to Nintendo Switch 2.
Now tell me it can use mouse and keyboard.
As the best assassin in the trade, Agent 47 does everything he can to accomplish his mission. And how each mission progresses will vary depending on the player's imagination. Our ever-expanding game will release on the same day as Switch 2. Plus, we are excited to bring another familiar agent to the platform.
Oops. A bullet in a Nintendo Direct is pretty wild. Is this James? Is this GoldenEye? Dude, if this is GoldenEye, people are gonna freak the fuck out. Bruh.
James Bond. The world's favorite spy is coming to Nintendo Switch 2, so stay tuned.
Wow, interesting.
The story of light and shadow that
Oh,
never
here you go, you
fades
sick freaks.
is reborn. Bravely Default
An anime
Returns,
RPG just for
remastered
you.
in high definition. Featuring the brave and default commands that help you control the flow of turn-based battles. Change and customize jobs to build out your very own party. Enjoy your adventure with upgraded features and enhancements. and all new minigames with unique ways to play. Square Enix presents the classic fantasy RPG, Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster. Set foot in Luxembourg as a warrior of light once more.
セガ龍が如くスタジオ代表の横山です。我々がお送りするタイトルは龍が如くゼロ誓いの場所ディレクターズカットです。1988年東京と大阪2つの歓楽街を舞台に土地を巡る争奪戦が勃発。伝説の始まりを追加シーンとともにお楽しみください。発売日は任天堂スイッチ2の発売と同じ日です。今後のシリーズ展開にもぜひご期待ください。
We'll have more games to show from our publishing and development partners, but for now, we'd like to show a game being developed in collaboration with Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
Please take a look.
Let's see. This is not Mario. Oh.
When the Zonai, who descended from the heavens, joined hands with the Hylians, who dwelled on the surface, their union led to a great and prosperous kingdom. But in time, a terrible evil arose. A war was fought to vanquish this evil, one which future generations would call the Imprisoning War.
Perhaps you truly have traveled back in time.
So that's Hyrule Castle?
Oh, the
Then
prequel to Tears of the
that
Kingdom.
must mean this really is the past.
Oh, you play as that guy? Oh, you play as all of them? You play as Zelda? Oh, you play as like 5 people. Hyrule Warriors. Oh, okay. Age of Empires. So this is that other kind of Zelda lane, but that looks interesting. That looks better than the other Hyrule Warriors. I can't say I'm super excited about that, but that's interesting. I thought it was like
That
another
was Hyrule Warriors
first-party
Age of
full-on
Imprisonment.
Zelda game.
It's being developed by Koei Tecmo Games with support from Nintendo.
Okay, so
We hope you're looking forward to the untold story of the Imprisoning War, which took place in Hyrule long ago.
And now, some news about Nintendo Switch Online. You can continue to enjoy Nintendo Switch Online on Switch 2. And with Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack,
give us game.
you can enjoy a new membership benefit exclusively on Switch 2. Please take a look at this.
Do it. Do it. Oh! Dude, holy shit.
Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack will be getting a new classic game
Let's
library
fucking go!
exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo GameCube, originally released in 2001. Here are the titles that will be available at launch. A Legend of Zelda game that looks like a cartoon come to life through cell shading. Controlling the wind using a mysterious baton, Link sets sail on an adventure across the Great Sea. The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Transcending history and the world, a tale of souls and swords eternally retold. In this 3D, weapons-based fighting game, each fighter comes equipped with a different weapon, and Link from the Legend of Zelda series enters the fray. Soul Calibur 2. Experience a world of white-knuckle racing at speeds over 2,000 kilometers per hour. 30 machines will put it all on the line in death-defying races. Featuring the series' first machine customization and story mode, get ready to experience F-Zero GX.
F-Zero, people love that.
In games that support multiplayer, up to 4 can play together locally or online.
Oh, you can play online?
Enjoy these classic games with clearer image quality and higher resolution than the original releases. You can also check the controls for each title and customize them to your liking. More titles will be added in the future.
Mario Sunshine, Mario Strikers, Luigi Mansion, Kirby Air Ride Abandoned.
Nintendo
That's
GameCube,
okay, that's so exciting.
Nintendo Classics, the Switch 2 exclusive game library coming to Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack launches the same day as the hardware's release.
Wow.
And a dedicated controller designed after the original GameCube controller will also be released.
Oh, holy
It can
shit.
connect wirelessly and also has a C button to quickly access Game Chat. The Nintendo GameCube controller, exclusively available for Nintendo Switch Online members, will also be available the same day as Nintendo Switch 2.
Whether you're familiar with the games or haven't played them before, we hope you're looking forward to Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Classics. Of course, you can continue to play select games from the systems shown here on Nintendo Switch 2.
Though that should
Okay,
open the door
let's
to
see
Wii
some
at
more
some
games
point,
from our
because
publishing
the
and
Wii is,
development partners.
Pretty much GameCube. Now I've got more third party, so I think we're gonna get one more first party at the very end. Deltarune. Okay, that's for somebody. There are a lot of people who really love Undertale, and so this is not an immense surprise. But it just seems like maybe not the thing to highlight at like in your Switch 2 direct. Like it's pretty.
Hi, I'm Randy from Gearbox.
Hi, Randy.
Borderlands 4, our upcoming flagship Borderlands game, will launch on Nintendo Switch 2. Borderlands is back. Loot and shoot your way through a world filled with wild enemies and outrageous weapons. We're still in development, and it's already the most ambitious Borderlands game we've ever made.
It's just as good as the
Borderlands 4
movie.
will launch in 2025. We'll be sharing a lot of the game in the months ahead, and there's more from 2K on the way.
Hi, I'm Dennis Shirk from Firaxis Games. We're releasing a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Sid Meier's Civilization 7. In Civ 7, you'll establish an empire and guide your people throughout the ages of history. With the new mouse controls, players can enjoy a more intuitive gameplay experience. Civ 7 launches on the same day as Switch 2. And if you already own the Nintendo Switch version, you can experience mouse controls on Switch 2 by purchasing the upgrade. And we have even more news from 2K.
Hi, I'm Lionel Jinks.
And I'm Ben Bishop.
Our final announcement for today is that WWE 2K is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Plus NBA 2K as well.
We can't wait to see you in the ring.
And
Brad
on the
Meyer.
court.
That's for you.
4 kids find this old, tattered man. Off they went, armed with nothing but youthful enthusiasm and a profound lack of preparation. Boom! Terrible at steering a raft. Let's slay some trees. Awesome! You nailed it! Hook, line, and sinker. Tastes amazing, doesn't it? Really have started to master this survival thing. Next stop, the top.
Dude, the Nintendo stream just died.
Nicely done. Well, I think that's everything. Let's set sail. This time, for home.
Hi, I'm Dave Crooks from Dodge Roll.
Oh my god, Nintendo. Nintendo's stream
Here's the
just
first
went
look
down.
at Enter the Gungeon 2. Dodge countless bullets and aim for the Gungeon's depths in our roguelike shooter sequel. Now reloaded in a new 3D art style.
Oh, this is a disaster for them.
You can expect some fan-favorite elements to return. We're still working on the game, and we're excited to share more with you in the future.
because this must be a pre-recorded video. So this is either a YouTube problem or their video's fucked up. Oh no, they gotta stop it. Oh, thank God they fixed it. If they announce like a first-party game without, I mean, I'm sure they'll already as well. Holy cow, that was bad. At least nobody gives a shit about Civilization 7. We lost viewers. It wasn't my fault. Uh-oh. The video's still catching up. This is not good.
Hello, my name is Adam Badowski from CD Projekt Red. We are delighted to bring the immersive world of the dark future to Nintendo players for the first time. Cyberpunk 2077 is an open-world action-adventure RPG set in night. Thanks to Nintendo Switch 2, you can transport yourself to the city of dreams at home or on the go. Get ready to meet unforgettable characters and discover engaging stories when Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition comes to Nintendo Switch 2 on launch day.
Beast Zero, are you seeing?
スクエアエニックスの浜口です。
Where are you seeing it?
任天堂スイッチ2でファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードを発売いたします。本作はミッドガル脱出までを描いた3部作シリーズの1作目となり、20年以上の時を経て再創作された新しい FF7 を体験いただきます。スイッチ2で展開する FF7 リメイクシリーズにぜひご期待ください。
Is it caught up now? Yeah, I think it's caught up. Holy cow. And a cow appears. That was stressful. Oh my gosh, because if they're like, and now, you know, fucking Mario 65, right? And it was on a different video. Oh, that would have been bad, but I don't even know. I mean, they announced Cyberpunk for the Switch 2. That's huge. That's a huge indicator for their graphics, but we couldn't see it. Oh, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. Glad to see it. We were all waiting. There's only 10 minutes left, so they gotta... They gotta hurry up here. Give us some more. That's not this. They've essentially said that third party is going to carry the Switch 2 release. And I hope that that wouldn't be the case, but it may end up being the case that it's really leaning on third party games here. Which, I mean, hey, oh, Fortnite. Ridge Racer? Good.
We've shown a lot of games so far. The next game will be the last from our publishing and development partners.
Okay, so this is the last third-party game.
Please take a look.
And then hopefully we're going to get some Nintendo games. Oh, wow. Is this Resident Evil?
I give you my blood. I give you my life. Turn, O wheel, and transport him
to a night of moonlight, to humanity's very dusk.
From Software. What's from it? Has fallen by half since the thing fell, since the stream got messed up there. But I think part of that is to do with the fact that a lot of these games are real snooze fests.
Close your eyes and contemplate now the moon, as befits the soon-to-depart.
I pray that you are able, carrier of blood.
So this ad is like 3 minutes in right now. We haven't seen any game.
Tears will flow for one, and one alone.
The Duskbloods? Who gives a shit about the Duskbloods? What are we doing? 5 minutes of the direct on the Duskbloods. Oh, come on now. Wrap it up. Not even this year.
What you just saw was a brand new game by From Software. We'll be publishing a creator's voice article where the game's director, Hidetaka Miyazaki, will share more details about the game, so please check it out when it's available. That's all from our publishing and development partners. We'd like to thank the developers who appeared today, as well as our publishing and development partners who prepared footage for this presentation. In addition to what you saw today, our partners are working on many games coming to Nintendo Switch 2. We'll showcase more games in the future, so we hope you're looking forward to it. Next, please take a look at this.
Uh-oh. Oh, this is Star Fox, right? No, this is Kirby? Is this Smash Brothers? Whatever it is, I love that Kirby's here. But I suspect this is Smash. Is this a new Kirby air ride? No, this can't be, right? Oh, this is Smash, right? No, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. What?
Kirby Air Ride, which originally released on the Nintendo GameCube system over 20 years ago, is getting a brand new game. We hope you're looking forward to Kirby Air Riders, directed by Masahiro Sakurai. Next is our last trailer for today. Please take a look.
Dude, what? What? What the fuck is this? Oh, is this Donkey Kong? Dude, it's a fucking Donkey Kong. Side-scrolling. Donkey Kong Bonanza. July 17th. Wow, that's soon. Dude, this is crazy.
That was a brand new 3D platforming action game starring Donkey Kong, called Donkey Kong Bonanza. With incredible strength, smash through enemies, walls, the ground, and just about everything as you demolish your way through a massive underground world. More details will be shared in the future. We hope you're looking forward to it.
Thank you for watching so far.
So far.
To recap, Nintendo Switch 2 launches on June 5th. Finally, here are the hardware options that will be available at launch. We'll release Nintendo Switch 2, as well as a bundle that includes a digital version of Mario Kart World.
Okay, I don't want that one.
For more details, please check the official Nintendo Switch 2 website, which goes live later today.
I thought there was going to be and.
We've covered a lot of information, but that's all we have to share for today.
You'll have to wait just a bit longer for launch. We are very much looking forward to everyone being able to experience Nintendo Switch 2.
We appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. So So I won't be around to stream those, but yeah, I mean, holy cow. Like, I don't understand how we got Kirby Air Ride. Like, I thought Kirby Air Ride was coming to GameCube online. I fully did not expect Kirby Air Ride to be a standalone game. Like, I don't even know. You know, let's just set this back to the beginning and we can kind of have it on passively in the background as we sort of decompress from that. But so, big titles Nintendo-wise are Mario Kart World, which is like open world, sort of like expansive Mario Kart situation. The Zelda game, Donkey Kong, and then of course for me, sort of the real big one, Kirby Air Riders, as Plopdumps has so helpfully pointed out. Like, I don't know, that's crazy to me. That's nuts. I feel like I've long assumed that Kirby Air Ride was a dead franchise now because Mario Kart was so successful. But they're giving it a shot, and I can't wait to see what that's about, because that was like, not only did it seem like it was like, not only is it like a full game, right? Not only is it a full game, but it is kind of gorgeous, right? Like the trailer for that was very like high fidelity, and so if that matches the gameplay in any way, if we're like seeing like Kirby Air Ride in fucking 4K, that's beyond anything I could have expected from this. And so for me personally, that's where I land in terms of hype, right? It's like, I'm hyped the system's coming out. Yeah, I'm hyped we're getting we have all that information confirmed. We know it's June 5th, right? Like, that's right around the corner. We're in April now, April 2nd, and so we've got about 2 months, maybe. Well, let's see. Yeah, like 2 months-ish until June 5th. And then you've got, the release of the Switch 2. Kirby Air Riders, it sounds like, is just 2025 generally, and so that might be a holiday release, but I'm happy to wait for that, and so we will definitely sort of stay tuned for that. But I guess tomorrow they're doing the Treehouse Direct, where they're going to show some gameplay off. Sort of interested by the C button. I think that the C button is fascinating to me because it's obviously its own feature and shrouded in mystery initially. But now you have a situation where
and I'm Tetsuya Sasaki, the hardware design.
Now you have a situation where it's like you've just sort of invented Discord. Like, you've hyped up.
Launching exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2.
You've hyped up Discord
Now,
in a very big way.
Brand new Mario Kart game will be like.
Did they say how much it is? Is it $500?
A brand new entry in the Mario Kart series is launching.
$500 is a lot of money. That seems.
Welcome to this vast world. Kart races are held throughout various regions that span the globe. Depending on the time of day and weather conditions, the atmosphere will change.
That seems high.
And in this Mario Kart game, you can go off the racetrack and drive virtually everywhere in this world.
I'm trying to find information on the price right now. That's why I'm not talking, but I'm seeing $500.
But don't sleep at the wheel. You'll also drive to the next course as part of the competition. With 24 drivers in each race, the most in series history, the competition is gearing up.
Oh no, they haven't said yet.
Race non-stop from one corner of the world to another.
But we didn't get a price, which tells me that we're probably not going to be able to pre-order it today.
There are multiple checkpoints along the way.
The Nintendo Switch 2 website has been updated though, so let's see if we can't go on that. Give me 1 second here, folks. I'm balancing trying to stream with also making sure I'm not missing any pre-order drops, and so we will.
By going off-road, you can explore
we'll have to see there. Patented Luigi green screen chat technology. That's right. So let's exit full screen on this bad boy, and let's go to let's see what's going on Nintendo.com right now.
Brand new race across the entire world starts here. Mario Kart World. The game launches on the same
So they ask the
day as
developer.
Nintendo Switch 2. More details about this title will be shared in an upcoming Mario Kart World Direct.
Let's check hardware.
So be on the lookout for more information in the future.
Oh, okay, so that's just currently available. Okay, so I don't know that we're necessarily going to find anything additional on the Nintendo website at this moment, but yeah, I mean, I think the Kirby Air Ride thing, crazy. A little disappointed that there's not any special launch editions, but I guess that's probably similar to what happened with the Nintendo Switch 1, right? But you did have the normal version and then the version with the bundle. I'll personally probably be going for the normal version just because I want to get the physical copies of the games. But that's, you know, that's me. And frankly, if I have to get the digital bundle, I will get the digital bundle and then also just buy the game separately, right? But I think that that's interesting stuff. So June 5th, no price yet. I wonder what the holdup is on the price. Is it just to focus on the games and the tech? What do we think? I don't know.
Introducing Game Chat.
But yeah, so this was very funny to me. The Game Chat was an incredibly funny moment because it was like they really rolled this out like they did something, but that looks almost identical to Discord. And so they've sort of created Discord on Nintendo, and you love to see that, you know. I think that that's a well-needed feature for Nintendo consoles, but it is definitely not innovative. I do think it's interesting that they're really pushing not needing a headset, right? Like they don't show a headset at all. And so the noise canceling must be pretty good. But I also don't really play games with just like raw dogging the sound from the environment, right? I usually have a headset on of some sort. And so hard to know what the situation is with that. Like, can you use a microphone? I'm sure you can, but like, you know, what's the deal? What's the dealio with that? The video thing I think is fascinating. The camera, the fact that you have that sort of immediate cutout. You joked and said patented Luigi green screen chat technology. Like I feel like that's sort of interesting because it's
even while playing different games.
Because it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's a tricky thing to do. But I guess TikTok does it all the time, so maybe it's not. And so that's interesting. But so the chat, the social feature, pretty cool. We still haven't seen anything explaining the Nintendo playtest. I figured that would be part of it, but I guess not. This part is interesting, though. The use of the camera in the games like this, I think, is pretty fascinating. And so you've got the you've got the ability to sort of insert yourself into the game here, which I think is fun when you're playing with friends, or like if you're streaming and you do a face cam, then this is great for you. Like this is sort of eliminates needing to have a box in the same way.
To games which use your camera
but I think that that's really interesting for, like, you know, when me and my mom and my brother play Mario Party or something like that. Like that will be a fun, that will be like a welcome addition.
Even when you're apart, you can play games and hang out as if you were together in the same room.
One thing that was interesting though that they mentioned back here that I don't think, or maybe it's coming up, but they mentioned like the Nintendo Switch to like the test game, the sort of Astrobot equivalent, and it was paid, and I thought that was very that was a choice. So let's fast forward to that bit. Also, if I sound tired, it's because I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Nintendo Switch 2 system itself.
Among Us with cams, that's right.
Please take a look.
So they talk about the screen being bigger and that it's the same thickness, which is good because the existing Switch is pretty thin. I feel like it's completely fine, but an 8-inch screen and Switch thickness, great, right? 1080p display on the handheld mode, which is cool, but then the fact that it goes up to 4K when docked, I think is pretty crazy. And so you love to see it, right? A little 1080p action rather than 720. 120 frames per second is very exciting, and I'm sure that 120 frames per second is a lot of like Switch 2 edition games, and probably some of the lower key Switch 2 games, I would guess. HDR, yeah, that does look better on the left. You got us there. The magnets, I don't care about. You know, as long as they don't break, as long as they stay, I feel good about it. But they seem to be indicating that they're pretty sturdy and that you need that button on the side. A lot of people are worried. I'm not worried about the magnets. The SL, SR buttons being steel, that's interesting to me. That'll feel interesting. The larger sticks, they didn't directly address Joy-Con drift, but that's okay because I don't think that they would. They wouldn't want to remind you of that. I'm sure that'll be fixed. The mouse controls, they didn't do a lot to explain the utility of that. Like I was on another stream last night and I sort of mentioned that the mouse control thing was interesting because I feel like they're going to do it in the most Nintendo way possible. And they absolutely did, because it's like their use cases that they show you are Mario Party mini games, and then also like a sort of basketball game in which you are in a wheelchair. And so that's a very Nintendo way to roll out a mouse. And, you know, again, I think that wheelchair game is probably going to be a really interesting game to play. But I can just imagine knocking all the shit off of my desk. You know what I mean? And so there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to highlight that mouse feature, right? This is interesting though. They talked about like the video's unavailable. Nintendo killed the video. They said you will never remember that happened. There we go.
Like this
must be the correct version.
Each Joy-Con 2 controller can be used as a mouse to play with compatible games. Both the left and right Joy-Con.
Yeah, I will say one thing that was crazy was the stream failing. Like Nintendo's stream fucking up like that for the biggest moment in the last 10 years, right? Like that's a huge fuck up. Somebody, unfortunately, is probably losing their job.
It has a built-in microphone, so you can voice chat with friends.
The built-in microphone, like I said, interested to see how that works out.
It also uses noise-canceling technology to filter sounds, so your voice will come through
focused only on voices, but what if somebody walks in and says something, right?
Even if you don't have a surround sound system, games can be enjoyed with more immersive, three-dimensional sound.
Yeah, the 3D audio thing is cool. I feel like that's, you know, if you can engineer that, great. I feel like it's not super novel. There are videos like this on YouTube all the time.
Place your Nintendo Switch 2 however you like with a large, sturdy stand.
Bragging about that sturdy kickstand.
In addition to the USB-C port found on the bottom of the system, there's one on top as
well. The double USB-C port makes sense, especially when you think about the camera.
It's handy for connecting a USB-C camera.
I wonder if you can just use any USB-C camera. Yeah, Nintendo's YouTube rep is absolutely... If I'm the marketing team, I'm shitting bricks right now. Because that's such a huge moment to drop the ball on.
Nintendo Switch for storing your game downloads, save data, and more. Reading and writing data is also faster. Use the
So
Nintendo
what is the Switch 2 price? Why don't we know
and
this?
enable up to 4K resolution for compatible games. HDR is also supported in TV mode.
I didn't even realize they didn't say it.
The Nintendo Switch 2 dock has a built-in fan that
I'll tell you
keeps
what,
your
people
system
on Blue
cool.
Sky, the first post I've seen is people talking about the upgrade pack. And they said this
On
is what
Nintendo
disdain
Switch
for
2,
your customers
you
looks
can play
like.
Nintendo
Oh no.
Switch 2 games, as well as compatible Nintendo Switch games. Physical and digital games are supported.
Oh, where did the Switch 2 pricing drop? Who's reporting this? I'm seeing $450. Cheap Ass Gamer says no price reveal on Switch 2 yet as of 14 minutes
As
ago.
you just saw, Nintendo Switch 2 isn't simply an improved Nintendo Switch. We redesigned the system from the ground up and packed in lots of new gameplay features.
Oh, Nintendo
And
Switch 2
to help
launches at
players better understand the
$449.99.
Switch 2 hardware, we're currently developing this game. Mr. Kawamoto!
So that's the press
Our current
release.
location
Altogether,
actually inside the
we'll
game
read this
itself.
press release for you. Altogether, anytime, anywhere, with new ways to play and new ways to connect players, the Nintendo Switch 2 system arrives June 5th for a suggested retail price of $449.99 in the United States. Okay, do we have any more details on pre-orders? Yes, no, maybe so. Please hold. $449.99. You know, somebody said it's definitely okay. So Nintendo Switch 2 will be available for pre-order in North America from participating retailers beginning on April 9th. So April 9th pre-orders. That's a week from today. Good to know. That's gonna be rough because I'm gonna be at a conference. Oh boy. That's fine. I'm prioritizing this, of course. But so April 9th pre-orders, $450. That is kind of expensive.
This is Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
So this is the
Exclusive to
welcome
Nintendo
tour.
Switch 2. I'm standing over here. Okay, everyone, join me inside the game. There
I
are
will
a
say
lot of
though, is if
question
it's
mark
playing
icons
Metroid
here.
Prime at
Let's
60
examine them.
frames, 4K,
This sign
it's
reads,
probably
"Where
worth
are the
hardware-wise
magnets?"
$450. You know, I don't
The
know.
Joy-Con 2
I
controllers
feel like there's a lot of
attached
kind
to
of
the system
poo-pooing
with
of the
magnets.
hardware, but then it's
And
like
those magnets are inside the system.
the 4K situation seems crazy.
The SL and SR buttons on the Joy-Con 2 are made of metal, so that's how they attach to the system. A magnetic circuit is formed
Yeah, so
between
this
them,
being
so they won't easily
a paid
detach.
DLC was pretty crazy.
Much faster.
So you've
data
got
reading
the Switch
speeds.
2 carts. They're red.
Next
That's
up
interesting.
is
And then the
additional
micro
storage.
SD Express carts
Switch 2 will only work with
essentially
micro SD Express
being
cards.
required. Kind
They're
of
a
bad
different
news for
type
people
of
who have a
SD
whole
card
fuckload
and
of
will
really
make
big
high-speed data
micro
transfers
SD cards,
possible.
but it's great news for people who own micro SD Express cards.
Please, few new features, and after today's presentation,
Boom, boom,
the official
boom.
Nintendo Switch
Let's see
2
what else.
website will
The
go live.
upgrades for the Nintendo Switch base games were really interesting as well.
I'd like to show you the
I'm
Nintendo Switch
fascinated
2
by
edition
the
of Super
on-rails
Mario Party Jamboree.
roller coaster shooter
Please take a
for Mario Party Jamboree. I think that the Legend of Zelda expansion stuff is just sort of okay.
On Nintendo Switch 2.
It seems like there's going to be more to do in the game, but it also seems like they've essentially just added a mobile app and more frames to the game.
Mouse controls,
And then the Kirby one I am excited for because that was one of the best Kirby games ever made.
more expressive rumble,
And we're getting more of it. and it looks gorgeous, right? And so let's see if we can find that actually, because I think that's a big part of the appeal for that.
Let's check out 3 new
Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
And so yeah, I mean, if you look at the graphics on like,
exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2,
it's a Kirby game, right? So chill out. But I think this is definitely better than what you saw on Switch 1.
Place in the Forgotten Land.
And so I'm really excited about that. I think this looks great. I can't wait for this. This is fun. And also Kirby getting a lot of real estate at this Direct. Like, as a shameless Kirby enthusiast, you really love to see it. Oh, I need to tell Nintendo that I'm interested right now, really? Can you link me, X? Or are you being silly?
In addition to standard controls, you can use mouse controls for intuitive gameplay on Switch 2.
Are links censored? Just send it to me on Discord.
You can explore the immersive world in 4K.
I don't know what's going on with
or
that.
Enjoy smoother action in full HD at 120 frames per second. Choose from these 2 modes, both of which support HDR, based on your preference and playstyle.
Thank you, sir.
Pokemon Legends ZA, which is scheduled to launch later this year, will not only receive
I'm probably
a Nintendo
already
Switch
cooked
version,
if I'm just
but
getting
a
the link
Nintendo
now.
Switch 2 edition as well. By taking advantage of the power of Switch 2, you can enjoy your adventure in Lumio City with enhanced resolution and frame rates. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition
Okay, I registered my
just saw
interest.
will be available as both physical
Eligible
and digital
Nintendo
versions.
account holders will receive an email when it's time to purchase. Okay, great.
And if you already own the Nintendo Switch version,
So
of the
hopefully
game,
that means they're
you can
reserving
play the
one for
Nintendo
me.
Switch
I
2
reserved
edition
just
by
Nintendo
purchasing
Switch
an
2
upgrade
system.
pack.
I didn't reserve
We
the
hope you're
bundle.
looking forward to these Nintendo
And so
Switch
hopefully
2
that's
edition
easier.
games.
Next, I'd like to introduce a brand new
Okay,
game
that makes me
featuring
feel
mouse
a lot
controls
better.
with the Joy-Con 2 controllers.
I'm hoping that GameStop's going to email me today and be like, your
Please take a
pro
look.
membership means you can get it today, or some shit, you know? Because that's how it always seems to be. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so they're talking about the mouse here. I thought this was interesting. This is the wheelchair game. And again, I mentioned before that I think that this is like huge for people who use a wheelchair, right? If I'm like a little kid who uses a wheelchair and one of the first games on the Switch 2 is wheelchair basketball, I'm gonna be pretty fucking psyched. You know? Big for disability access. But so this is an interesting game for sure. I don't know that I'm going to be super jazzed about it just because, like I said, I feel like if I play this game, I'm going to fuck up my desk or my legs, one of the two. And so I would rather not. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a way. And frankly, if you use a wheelchair, you're at a great advantage in this game because you are familiar with that, right? You've got that muscle memory built. The third-party stuff, I think a lot of what we expected, right? So like Elden Ring, we got Street Fighter. I'm scrolling through here to see if anything. Madden.
Coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Princess of the Dead. An immortal witch
Tony
out to
Hawk.
vanquish the
Cyberpunk
sinister titan
2077 is what I need to see because I did not see.
ends of the earth. Getting to
I did
know
not see it in the
dozens of
original
characters from
stream
Greek
because the
myths
stream
in a
fucked
story
up.
that reacts to your every
Also, thank you
step.
X for sending me that. That's very
It's
helpful.
the kind of game you can quickly pick up and
I
play
did not
whether
see
you're
that.
experienced with the original
Oh, here
or
we go.
not.
Here's Cyberpunk. Yeah, and so Cyberpunk on the Switch 2 is crazy. Because that doesn't look bad. I'm sure it's not going to perform at quite the level of a PC.
の浜口です。Nintendo Switch 2で
Requires very specific hand arm mobility, yeah.
インターグレードを発売いたします。本作は
Final Fantasy, sure. We knew that, right?
一作目となり、20
The
年
big
以上の
news, Fortnite. Oh no, where did it go? I tried to click to Fortnite and I accidentally clicked to Ridge Racer. Ah! Whatever. Folks, listen. I've talked about it ad nauseum. This is shocking to me. Like, I don't know how to express to you how dead I thought Kirby Air Ride was as a franchise. Like, I was certain this was the last that we would see. Like, GameCube was the last we would see of Kirby Air Ride. This is out of left field, because even watching this a million times, I was like, oh, Smash. This must be Smash. And then the engines kicked on, and I was like, no, it's Smash. And then it was Kirby Air Ride. And I just don't know. If you never played it on the GameCube, I'll tell you this, is the actual racing was fine, right? The actual Grand Prix mode was very, like, mid. But it's called City Trial. And City Trial is like you ride around the city, and you're fighting with other Kirbys, and you collect power-ups to like level up your your air ride vehicle, right? Your Warp Star, whatever option you have. And there are a bunch to pick from. And so you can upgrade its weight, you can upgrade its handling, you can upgrade its speed by collecting these little icons. And then you do that for like 15 minutes, however long you want to do it for. And then you go into a mini game, right? And there's something about the gameplay loop of that was so addicting. I love it, right? And of course it's Kirby, right? And what we're seeing now is like high-res Kirby. Like, this is the best Kirby has ever looked, I would say. And I'm shocked, like, genuinely without words to express how surprising this is, because this is such a deep cut pull. And the fact that we're getting a new Kirby Air Ride in 2025 is wild. Kirby has never been rounder, you know? And so, yeah, I mean, I'm so excited about this, because that was like a deep cut game from my childhood, right? And Sakurai's back, which is great. And 2025, like, when could this be? Within 8 months, I'll be playing a new Kirby Air Ride on the new Nintendo console. Let's go. You know what I mean? I hope it doesn't come out close to my wedding, though. It's gonna come out like the day before. It's gonna ruin my marriage. No, I'm kidding. This is particularly crazy, though. Is this the Donkey Kong? Yeah, I'll turn up the volume for this one. But the Donkey Kong resurgence here. I'll say this. Yeah, I can play it while getting married. I'll say this. I don't like the new Donkey Kong design. It's not that I don't love it. It's not that I don't prefer it. I do not like it. I like that Donkey Kong's kind of making a comeback, though. Yeah, exactly, X. The Donkey Kong game is what is great to look forward to, but hate that he looks like shit. There was no need to change how Donkey Kong looks and make him cartoony like this. There was simply no need to do it. They did it. Moving on. I think it's and also I don't really understand what the point of this is, right? Like, usually you can look at a game and say, oh, this is kind of like that. But destructible environments, right? And there seems to be some sort of like mining element to it. Obviously this gold seems to be important in some way. But, like, is it open world? Like, what's the deal with the digging? How important of a feature is that? Like, there seem to be side-scrolling parts here. So, like, what the fuck is that about? Like, there's so much going on in this trailer that I don't know. You know, I also sort of... I look at some of the characters and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are. I'm out of the loop on Donkey Kong. I think the last Donkey Kong game I played in full was Donkey Kong Country, Super Nintendo, like the original one. Yes, that's a good point. Plopdom says Bonanza looks like what I wanted from the Hulk on GameCube. It does seem like kind of hulky controls, right? Which makes sense, because I think Donkey Kong is like a good Hulk analog for the Nintendo, right? So 7/17. So that comes out shortly after launch. And so that's exciting because I feel like that's a good new game, right? We'll have Mario Kart, we'll play Mario Kart for like a few weeks, and that'll be fun. And then we'll want something else, right? And I think Donkey Kong is a good place for it. Based on Kirby Air Ride saying 2025, my guess is that that'll be a holiday game, which pains me because that's a long time from now. But I think that that would be ideal because then you're getting it, number one, most importantly, for everybody in the world after my wedding, right? So I can lean in full time Kirby Air Riding, right? But then also, what's it called? You know, you have sort of something to look forward to. And so you get the Mario Kart, you get Donkey Kong, you get Kirby Air Ride. Those are sort of the big three first-party Nintendo releases, which is insane to say. Think about this morning before we watched this Nintendo Direct. If you would have imagined that the big three games that came out of this were Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, and Kirby Air Ride, right? Wow. And so really something. It just like adds a lot of depth, I think, to the Nintendo lineup, because when's the last time we've had a meaningful open world 3D Donkey Kong game like Nintendo 64, right? And even then that was, you know, questionable in its enjoyment for a lot of people. And so you've got that. And then you've got the return of Kirby Air Ride as a franchise, which is just like unbelievably out of left field and so truly surprising. And for all the leaks that were out about the Nintendo Switch 2, I'm so glad that that wasn't leaked because I would have never believed it. And then when it happened, it would have felt spoiled. But that was great, right? The surprise there was great. And so I can understand why people don't like leaks, but yeah, truly surprising. And so those are sort of the big three games. It sounds like we're going to have a pretty good cadence with them in terms of when we get them. What was the 2027? Or there's some stuff that was announced for like way later. And that is, I think, fundamentally uninteresting to me. Like, we'll get to that when we get to that. I'm curious about, like, what is that stuff we're going to get in the first year? 3 first-party games, pretty strong. The Zelda Hyrule Warriors thing is interesting because I know that there's a Hyrule Warriors on Switch 1 that isn't really that popular. Like, I know it exists, but, like, is that something that people are actually excited about, or is that shovelware? Oh, there's 2 Hyrule Warriors, right. So I didn't even know there's 2. And if they were really good, I feel like people would be like, oh, yeah. You know? And so that sounds sort of like an auxiliary thing. But I think when you combine the new content that's going to be added to some of the original Switch games with the 3 sort of big Nintendo announcements with the third-party stuff, I think there's going to be enough to keep people busy. A Mario Kart World, I think, is going to consume people's lives when it comes out. Like, I have no doubt whatsoever that that game is going to be really popular. It's going to be a big streaming moment for a lot of people because Mario Kart World is you know, just what can you do, right? Like that's the new Mario Kart game after nearly a decade, or probably more than a decade, right? Of Mario Kart 8. And so you do sort of end up in a position where people have been waiting for this game for a long time. It's got to be an explosion of interest, right? And so, yeah, I mean, we got a pretty stacked summer ahead of us, I think. And I would be thrilled if we find out from Nintendo that what's it called? That the Kirby Air Ride is coming out sooner than holiday. But my gut says we're gonna see it holiday. And I'll wait. Because I've already waited, when did the first one come out? Let's find out. I want to say 2004. 2003. It's been 22 years since the last Kirby Air Ride. And it is like coming out this year. Insane. Oh, you think Hyrule Warriors is bigger in Japan? That makes sense. And that's another thing to remember is a lot of these games that I see that I'm like, I don't know, who's that for, right? It's just not for me. And I have a very narrow range of things that I want to dump my time into. That's just how I am as a person, right? I'm not into a lot of things a little bit. I'm into, well, that's not entirely true, but I feel like I try not to be into a lot of things a little bit as much as I try to be into like a few things a lot, right? And so I think it might explain my gaming habits. Like I don't know that I would ever buy a game that I was sort of interested in. Like I sort of have to be there, right? I have to be like, oh, I love Kirby, I'm gonna buy that game. You know, I'll buy it for like collector's purposes, but you know, there's some games that I bought the Zelda game, the one where you play as Zelda. Oh wow, Mario Kart World is $80. Holy cow. Holy cow. Okay. Okay. Wow. $80. Huh. How do we think that's going to be received? I strongly suspect that that's going to be a problem for a lot of people. Not necessarily that they won't buy it, but people are going to be pissed off about that. Yeah, it better be the best game ever made for $80. That's more than Tears of the Kingdom. Holy cow. Yeah, that's really interesting. X, can you link me to the compatibility list? Yeah, because the Switch 2 is $450, and now Mario Kart 8 is $80. So we're talking $530 out the door to get started with one game. I am very curious. I'm very curious what the upgrades cost. Yeah, because I mean, here's the thing. It's not going to stop me from buying it, but I'm a 30-year-old man with a good job and no kids. You know what I mean? But I think that there's some contingent. There's some contingent of this. Let's do this because I think I'm logged in on my Nintendo account in the other window. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I gotta change my window here. Also, why is my dog barking at... $7 o'clock, 7:30. Oh, it's $10 more for physical? So is it... Oh, so it's $70, but it's $10 more for physical. Or is it $80 and it's $90 for physical? Because if it's holy shit, dude, people are gonna be not happy about that. Wow. Okay. So that might be a real problem for Nintendo then. $90 for a physical copy of Mario Kart. Are all the games priced that way that you've seen? Okay, so no. Oh, is it just Mario Kart? Oh, Donkey Kong Bonanza is cheaper. Got it. Oh, so there are 141 titles that have a problem. Or that don't have a problem. Oh, okay, so the only game that's not really problematic, or that is problematic, is Toy-Con VR4. These have issues, but will be fixed eventually. But these all seem to be like third party. I'm not seeing anything on here that like jumps out to me as like, oh, this is necessary. Donkey Kong Bonanza 70, so would it be 80 physical then? That's still very expensive for physical, but the Mario, whew. NBA 2K18, yeah, I don't think that's, I don't think anybody gives a shit about NBA 2K18. Okay. And so then are most of these compatible? Although the game can progress with behavior verification, confirmed problem with some behavior in the game, 50 titles. Okay, so there's like, kind of okay. So then it seems like a vast majority of Switch games. So it looks like we're talking 50 that you can play and it's kind of iffy. 192 Switch 1 games are not functional to iffy. But there are so many Switch 1 games. Christ, I gotta be... Where are you seeing all this? On Twitter? Or the Nintendo website? Oh, on Twitter? Okay, let me go on Twitter then. Let me go on Twitter. Okay. Guaranteed I'm gonna accidentally scroll by some crazy shit on Twitter because Twitter is Twitter. Okay. Oh, that looks cool. That's a great graphic. I'm glad they're continuing that game. That's a great game. Oh no, we did not need to see Bikini Princess Peach. Thank you. Oh, X hitting me with the screenshot. Oh, okay. Can I just drag this in here? Yes, I can. Excellent. So that is the... Oh, shit. I gotta close this. Close all. Properties. Boom. Okay. So this is gonna allegedly be the Switch 2 UI. I hope they have dark mode, but looks very much so like Switch 1 UI. Disappointing if that's the case. So new console with all the first party games is going to be $1,000 plus. Well, so $450 for the console. Let's say you get physical Mario Kart, $90, so $540. $70 for DK. And then $80, $70 for Kirby. Or is it going to be $80 for DK because it's physical? Oof. I mean, it's not going to be 1,000, but it's going to be fucking close. Yeah, so 80 for a physical edition. Golly. I think they're trying to wean people off of that. I really think that their goal is to get rid of physical, but the tariffs could be true. That's a good point, Sturkey. Because we're talking about, you know, $70 for Tears of the Kingdom, and the only thing that's really changed is it's a new console, right? But I don't think that the physical media is going to be that much of a difference, right? I don't know. I mean, that seems like a lot of money. I think that's going to be tough for people because this is coming out in the middle of a recession. And so as a gamer, I think that it makes sense, right? It seems like that's correct, right? Like that's what this should cost. Not the games. I think the games are crazy. $90 for Mario Kart is crazy. But the hardware seems great. It seems like a thing that it would be fine to buy, you know? But yeah, I mean, that's going to be rough. That's going to be, I think, probably poorly responded to. I don't think people are going to love that, chat. Let me check my links here. So 450, people are already talking about scalpers. Let me see. I'm checking all of my Discords, but I think this is interesting. So they are updating the app as well. So the Nintendo Switch Online app is going to look a little different. Let's bring that up. Please hold. Properties. Got a link from X. Let's open that first. Oh, the Switch 2 game box art. Oh wow, Donkey Kong Bonanza looks pretty good. Okay, we're getting some live info from X here. I appreciate it, X. So Nintendo Switch 2 US website updated. Let's check it out. Available 6/5/2025. The how to buy link just went live, so on the main thing, so that's good. That means I got in pretty early. The first batch of invitations will go out starting May 8th. Oh, okay, interesting. So you're going to be able to purchase it from retailers before you're going to be able to purchase it through Nintendo. And so it's Nintendo account holders in the US and Canada. As of 4/2/2025, you must have been the one who purchased any Nintendo Switch so you must be a Nintendo Switch Online member. You must have paid for any Nintendo Switch Online membership for a minimum of 12 months, and you must have opted in to share gameplay data and have at least 50 hours of total gameplay data. Okay, so those are things that you should check. If you're trying to get in, you should check that you've shared gameplay data, but this is a great way for them to crack down on scalping, right? Because you're going to have to be a paid Nintendo Switch Online member for at least 12 months and opted in to share gameplay data and have at least 50 hours of total gameplay hours, right? So like there's no smurfing accounts with this. Oh, this is great. This is great news. And so, okay. Excellent. Excellent. How good. I'll have to check and make sure that I'm sharing gameplay data, but I'm pretty sure that I am. Boom, boom, boom. Oh shit, I'm not even sharing the right window. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Am I? Nintendo Switch 2 system features? Yeah, here we go. Okay. So this was the link. So you must have purchased the Nintendo Switch Online membership. You must have had any paid Nintendo Switch Online membership for a minimum of 12 months, and you must have opted in to share gameplay data and have 50 total hours. Very cool. And so, invites to buy from Nintendo going out May 8th, with additional batches of invitations being sent periodically until the Nintendo store is open to everyone. The full payment will be required at the time of checkout. Nintendo Store accepts Visa, MasterCard, Google Pay, Apple Pay. Nintendo Switch 2 orders ship. They can't be picked up at retail locations. Great. Release day delivery is not guaranteed due to processing and shipment times. And so it sounds like if you want it on release day, probably your best bet is going to be to order through a normal retailer and do in-store pickup. But that's really good to know. Thanks for sending this, X. In terms of the other stuff, so we've got from Wario some of the pricing. And so we see Switch 2 Pro Controller, $80. Joy-Con, $90. Joy-Con 2 charging grip, fucking $35. Pretty crazy. Switch 2 camera, $50. The dock is $110. So everything is very expensive for this console. This is a rich man's Nintendo. Gosh, I'm shocked by the price, honestly. I don't even know what to think. I'm a little worried for Nintendo with this. And so now we have the pages for the individual games. That's interesting. All the Switch kids better start cutting their lawns. That's right. And I think that at this price point, it might actually make it easier to get the game because it's quite a bit cheaper, or because it's quite a bit more expensive. And so unfortunately, I think a lot of people are going to be out. Wow, gorgeous website for Mario Kart World, though. They really put everything into this. They half-assed the Donkey Kong one, but boy, they went into it here. Free roam, play together. $79.99 MSRP. So $500 for the bundle, but that's the virtual version. And so this is your best bet. Like if you're trying to save money, this is your bet. But so manufacturer suggested retail price. Where's the 3 stars? That seems to suggest that it's going to be $80. I don't know if it's going to be an additional money for the physical version. Unless we can find a source for that. Okay, cool. And so then we've got the Metroid Prime 4 Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Seems to suggest that it's a Nintendo Switch 1 game, which I think is possible. I think that makes sense. And they're treating it that way. Kirby Air Riders. I feel like I'm living in a dream. I feel like I've died, and this is like the afterlife. All right, X is hitting me with another link here. Let's see what it is. Oh, the Switch 2 edition features list. Okay, so we'll now understand the difference between Switch 1 editions and Switch 2 editions. Let's take a peek. Okay. Mario Party Jamboree. So new way to play, exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2, Jamboree TV. New modes that use mouse controls, microphone, and compatible USB-C. Players appear within the game. Yep. Game share compatibility for local multiplayer. WQHD 1440p resolution in TV mode. Full HD 1080p in tabletop. So 1440p Mario Party. Crazy. Let's see. Breath of the Wild says support for the Zelda Notes game-specific service. Improved frame rates and resolution, faster load times, HDR support. Okay, that's not great. It just looks better, is what they're saying. Yeah, same with Tears of the Kingdom. So it seems like of the Switch 2 editions, Mario Party Jamboree and Kirby are the ones with the biggest updates. These two just have sort of the app. Though the app may add a lot. I do think the app does add that schematic sharing in Tears of the Kingdom, which is really good. But yeah, I mean, I also tend to believe that if it's like $10, $15, $20 more, that's going to be a hard sell. Oh, the physical upcharge is confirmed for Europe. Hasn't been confirmed for USA. I'd imagine. Okay. Pokemon Legends improved performance with higher frame rate. Okay. And then Metroid Prime 4, support for mouse controls. Okay, that makes sense because it is a shooter, right? Enhanced resolution, textures, and load times. Choose from 2 display modes. Quality mode runs at 60 frames per second in 4K. Resolution in 1080p in handheld. And the performance mode runs at 120 frames in 1080p on TV mode, or 720p in handheld. So you can get 120 frames per second Metroid Prime, both in handheld and in TV mode. The fact that you can get 120 frames, 1080p on a Metroid game, like on the new one, crazy. That seems very good, and I think the graphics quality of this is probably deeply underrated and will continue to be. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is how we got the Switch 2 UI, right? This. So this is the Switch 2 UI. And now we know. And so you look and you can see the Joy-Con 2s down here and the slight difference that those have. Interesting. I really hope that they do something to spice those up. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. And so lots to think about. Lots to think about here. But very interesting. You'll love to see it. We'll have to kind of keep our eyes open for additional updates, but this has been very helpful. Pricing though, whew. Golly. Okay, well, in any case, I may, at 3 hours in here, I may call it. What do you think? Is there more news coming out Fast and Furious that I should stay on for? Or what do we think? Slowing down, yeah, I figured. Well, I'm going to hop off then. It's been lovely. Thanks for hanging out for yet another wonderful moment in Nintendo history. Still cannot believe we're getting Kirby Air Ride. That is crazy. But anyway. All right, y'all. I don't think I'll rate anybody because it's fucking 8 o'clock in the morning. But